Sorry. Hey, how's everybody doing? It's your boy, Airboy, and I am back with another FanBoyAaron review, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Off-Road Bumblebee. And prior to the usual, before we take a look at the figure, we're going to take a little look at his box. There we have Bumblebee, or Off-Road Bumblebee to be specific. He is number 57 of the Studio Series line. We have a nice image of his CG render right there. His pulse cannon all charged up. On the other side of the box, we got Bumblebee again. This side of the box, we got Bumblebee. Bottom, nothing. Top, nothing. Back of the box, you got some product shots and a one-sentence bio that says, Bumblebee goes toe-to-toe with Blitzwing in a canyon-shaking battle. Woo! Alright, that's enough of the box for now. I threw that way too far. I need it later. Okay. Back to the review. Here we are. And here we have Bumblebee. And apparently people are treating this thing like it's the second coming of Jesus. And you know what? As far as Transformers go, they might be right. This is honestly one of the best Bumblebee figures I've ever had. Despite the few small problems, which I will go over. Anyway, here's Bumblebee. And this is the way he appeared in the Bumblebee movie. This was the first vehicle he scanned. This was right after he crashed on Earth. He scanned a military jeep. This is meant to represent that scene. And yeah, it's screen accurate. I mean, it was a short scene, but for the most part, I do think they nailed the jeep mode. You see, there's some molded detail, but not a whole lot of paint on this guy, as far as I can tell. They got a little orange there for the taillights, but not much paint. You got some smoky, transparent plastic for the headlights and a little gunmetal gray in the grille. But yeah, surprisingly, not that much paint showing on the vehicle mode. He's got some big old wheels, and this one's getting snagged on a little bit of the plastic in there, so I don't know what exactly it's got. He still rolls just fine, which he really should, considering the size of his wheels. And that's not a gunmetal or gray color. It's kind of a really dark brown, now that I'm looking at it. But, you know, it's minor nitpicking. Yeah, you can see his robot mode arm sticking out at the bottom, but really, it's a minor problem. Overall, it's a pretty decent looking Jeep mode. Even in the inside, there's some vehicle details and molding. And hell, this little part here that's meant to be like a peg for stands can double as like a cup holder or something. There's a little steering wheel there. Adjustable seats. Looks pretty good. He comes with one accessory, his little arm cannon, done in that same brownish plastic. It comes off as kind of a dark gray on the camera, but it's more of a really dark brown. Get the camera to focus on that. Focus. That's about as good as I'm going to get it. Lots of nice molded detail. I wish there was a little more paint on it, like maybe some silver, maybe a little black, but yeah, maybe I'll send it to my buddy Zeg and have him paint it up for me. It's not a bad looking weapon. Hell of a lot better than the last one. And it can store in the vehicle mode. As you can see, these two little pegs there. There are two little hook slots on the inside of his legs there. I believe, I haven't tried it yet, but I think it's meant to plug in underneath like this, like this, Cooperate with me. Again, I didn't do this beforehand, so... Like, there we go. And it doesn't affect the rolling either, which is good. Alright, vehicle mode comparisons. Here he is next to Bumblebee movie Dropkick. I would do Shatter, but I don't have the patience to transform that thing, and I'd rather use the Jet Shatter, which hopefully will be on the way next week. Here he is next to his previous incarnation, the Bumblebee. And yeah, before I thought this was the best Bumblebee figure we've gotten, but no. This one is the better one. As you can see, mine has a little custom paint work done to it. Alright, just goes. Here he is with his old rival, the Last Night Barricade. And yeah, Barricade's quite a bit bigger than he is. And just because, here he is next to Earthrise Wheeljack. Anyway, Wheeljack was in the Bumblebee movie for a brief moment. This could pass as a Bumblebee movie Wheeljack. And I do not have the Bumblebee movie Optimus, unfortunately, so here's the next best thing, the Earthrise Optimus. Honestly, with just a few minor adjustments to the design, this could make a pretty good Bumblebee movie Optimus. And that pretty much does it for the Jeep mode now. Let's go ahead and transform this guy. We'll go ahead and remove the cannon. First thing you want to do is you want to... What do you want to do? Yeah, I've only got this figure today, Friday, the, was it the 3rd or the 2nd of April of 2020? Around that time. I've only had it for a day, so I haven't transformed it too much. I believe you want to pull these panels out and out of the way. Flip this down. Flip that up. Come back here and you want to split the legs. And we can go ahead and transform the legs now. You want to, well, first you want to pull the arms out. There's little tabs in there that connect. Make sure those are pulled out. Really, first bit of the transformation is just getting things out of the way. We want to go over here, pull this out. Pull the foot down. Do the same thing on this side. Pull that out. Pull the foot down. I'm going to come back here. Flip this wheel up. Same thing with this little piece here. Flip that up. Then you want to rotate the foot. Then when we come over here, these wheel pieces are on strange double hinges. You want to... Well, first you want to flip the seats up to get them out of the way. Then you want to come back here, pull these wheels up on the double hinge like that. And take this part, flip it down. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull it up on the double hinge, flip it down. You want to take these panels we pulled out earlier, flip them all the way down, and pretty much got the legs done, I think. Yeah, so we just got to focus on the top part now. I'm going to raise the camera a little bit. Alright, we're going to come up here. Now, the roof of the car pegs in super securely, so it's going to take a little bit of force to get it loose. Come on. You know, it might help if I get this part out of the way first. Pull it loose. Pull it loose. Again, it pegs in there super securely. There we go. I'm going to come up here, pull the arms out just a little bit. take this part, flip it down. You want to come in here, split that part open, flip this in. Before we continue here, we want to take this part here, pull it out, which will make the head come out. Flip it all the way down. Then you want to take this part here. Well, first you want to take the arms and straighten them out. Then you take the chest, flip it in. And we're just about done. You gotta rotate the arms, orientate them correctly. We come back here to the back. Inside, you can't quite see it. I can't get the camera to focus worth a damn. There we go. There are little slot hole sections for these two tabs that fit in. Make it close up nice and securely. If you haven't already, go ahead and flip the wheel back all the way. And this little part here, you can either leave it down or pull it up. Personally, I like to pull it up. And I think we are done transforming this guy. And here we have Bumblebee. Off-road Bumblebee. In his robot mode, and my god, this has got to be the best looking Bumblebee figure I have ever had. He's got a short, stocky build that says, "I'm cute but tough at the same time." And that is more or less the vibe Bumblebee should give off. He's the short guy you do not want to mess with. I'm going to take a closer look at this guy. Check out some of the robot mode details. One minor nitpick I have with this Bumblebee figure is that his face is the only silver on him. There is no other silver paint on this guy, but, you know, minor problem. It's one of the only two problems I have with this figure. The robot mode arm sticking out on the vehicle mode and the silver paint on the face. Other than that, I have no problem with this figure that I cannot fix myself. It is a very, very nice looking head sculpt, regardless of the silver paint that makes it stand out like all hell. I got a tiny little Autobot symbol on there. I'll probably stick another Autobot symbol on the roof of the car, just for the sake of giving them an extra one. And you got some nice mechanical detail all throughout. Some big old legs with the big old feet. Alright, one problem I had with my copy is that the hip joints are a little loose, but thankfully they're ball joints, which can easily be fixed with a little bit of floor polish. I'll probably do that after this review. And articulation, the head can rotate all the way around. And it can look up, but the head is designed in a way where it's attached via this hinge instead of the ball joint itself, which makes it look a little weird from certain angles. So yeah, it doesn't bother me, but it might bother other people, and I'm sure maybe some third-party company will come around and do something to fix that. If not, it doesn't bother me. The arms are on a ball joint, so they can go all the way around, or they could go all the way around if it weren't for these wheels getting in the way, but, you know, no biggie. They go out about that far. There's a bicep rotation. Yeah, a little over 90 degree. Ooh, excuse me, a little over 90 degree bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. There is a waist joint, but it looks like it's a little limited. It'll only rotate about that far, left or right. The hips are on a ball joint, which is a little loose on mine. Again, easy fix. You can kick that high. You can kick about that far back before the stuff on his back gets in the way. He's got a decent spread. Can't do the full splits, but he can do a decent spread. He's got a little over a 90-degree bend at the knee. There is thigh rotation. At first I thought there wasn't, but there is. And the feet are on a ball joint. They can get a decent tilt left or right. They can bend down quite a bit and up a little bit. So yeah, you can get him, and he's got a decent amount of articulation. The only part of his body that doesn't have articulation is his wrist, and despite that, you can still get some very decent expressive poses out of the guy. Not a bad figure by any means. And you can give him his little cannon. Plugs right into his hand. And one neat little feature this guy has that I am so happy he does, you probably noticed, his arms have two little slots. And if you have the arm blade from the previous Volkswagen Bumblebee, this little thing here, you can plug it into his arm and use it as an accessory for this guy if you want to. And he doesn't look half bad with it. It's nice that they gave us that option. It would have been better if he just came with his own arm blade, but, you know, I'm not going to complain. I'm happy with what we got. And before you ask, no, you cannot use the previous Bumblebee's battle mask on this one, at least as far as I can tell. I mean, if you look closely, you can see seams on the head that looks like the face should pop off. But no matter what I've done, I cannot seem to get the face pop off, and I'm too afraid to keep trying. So, as far as I know, you cannot use the previous Bumblebee's battle mask on this figure. At least not without making some big custom adjustments to it, which I am not going to do. This figure is fine without it. He does not need the battle mask. I'm happy with the cannon, and the fact I can use this arm blade on him is good enough. Alright, now, let's get to some robot mode comparisons, shall we? Let me just make a little adjustment to the camera there. There we go. Alright, for comparison, here he is next to the Bumblebee movie Dropkick. You see, Dropkick's a little taller than him, as he should be. That's the way it was in the movie. Let's fix that a little bit. Okay, there we go. Here he is next to Earthrise Wheeljack. As you can see, Bumblebee is a little bit shorter than your standard deluxe class figure, which really is the height he should be at. Just a little bit. Bigger than a Legends, but shorter than a deluxe. Here he is next to his hated rival from the older movies, Barricade. And honestly, they don't look half bad together. Personally, Barricade's design is one of the few things I liked about The Last Knight. I would not mind if they just use a slightly retold version of this design for Barricade for future Transformers films, because I would not be against the idea of these two butting heads as rivals for future Transformers movies. Alright, and again, I don't have the Bumblebee Optimus, but it was the next best thing. Honestly, a much better thing. Earthrise Optimus. It's actually not a bad scale, and they don't look half bad together. And last, but oh, you know what? Before we get to that, just because I think they look good together, here he is next to Studio Series Ironhide. Yeah, sorry I didn't do a vehicle mode comparison for him, but I don't have All Night, and his transformation's a little complex. Yeah, I don't think they look half bad together. Alright. And finally, here he is next to the Volkswagen Studio Series Bumblebee. And, yeah. Mine obviously has some paint applications to it, but despite that, both visually and playability-wise, this one's a lot better. Don't get me wrong, this one was good for a while, but this one kicks this one's ass in literally every possible field. The articulation is better and more manageable, and once I add the proper polish to the legs, it'll be a much more solid figure. He does a much better job of managing his vehicle parts and making them blend in with the robot mode. This is just an all-around better Bumblebee figure. Easily the best movie Bumblebee figure I've ever had. And before we end this review, got one more thing to show. Every Studio Series box comes with an insert with that is a optional background for display options, and his is the scene where he crashed and was confronting the military right before Blitzwing attacked him. I don't use them, but it is a nice little addition for collectors. Now, as he stands, this guy is approximately 4.5 inches, just a little under 4.5 inches. And at the time of release, he was about $20. Now, do I think he is worth the price and worth picking up? The answer to both those questions is yes. And I admit, $20 a little over $20 is, I mean, for a 4-inch figure, it might seem steep at first, but once you have this thing in hand and make the one minor fix that you need to, if it even has that, right? It could be just my copy that has the loose tips, but once that problem is fixed, I do believe this guy is well worth the $20, well worth your time getting. If you have to have just one Bumblebee figure from the Studio Series line, make it this one. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a nice comment, enjoy the rest of your day, and join me next time. And I think I'll finally take a look at the custom oil slick I have. I said I would do it last time, but this time I mean it. Next time I'll take a look at the oil slick. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.